Hello, Quilt Artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle. So, my Thankful Thursday video got corrupted again. I don't know why I'm having so many technical difficulties, but I'm actually kind of glad because I've had issues before where my Thankful Thursday video got corrupted and I had to refilm it. And usually when I refilm it, I change what I'm thankful for because there's usually something that happens between my original filming date and my refilming date that changes my perspective or my opinion or what I want to say. So this time it didn't, right? I'm thankful for taking it day by day. Now, I don't know if I'm having some kind of like midlife crisis because I'm 46, about to turn 47, or if I just have more time on my hands, right? Like I'm thinking like 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, my children were 17, 11, and like 5, right? I'm working full time. I'm leaving work, driving across town to pick up my kid from daycare because who can afford daycare near where you live? You got to find daycare where you can afford daycare. So I'm driving to the other side of town to pick up my kid from daycare, then schlepping back home. Then I've got to cook dinner and help with homework and then bathe some of these children and or make sure that they bathe and put them to bed. So I don't know if I just didn't have time then because I was tired from life. I don't know. But all I know is now, like, one day I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. Like, this is horrible. My life is horrible. I hate it here. And then the next day it's like the most beautiful, blissful day on earth. And all is right with the world. So I really don't know what's going on. I've not experienced this amount of emotional fluctuation in my life. I'm not. And so I don't know if I just have the space to feel these things or if I just didn't feel them before or now I just have the space to feel them. I don't know. But right now I am thankful for taking life one day at a time and just accepting what that day is and then moving on to the next day and hoping that that day will be better if the day before it was bad or the same if the day before it was good. You know, I'm just thankful for taking it one day at a time. Now, on to this video. So I have been trying out some new subscriptions and recently I unboxed the Stash Buster by Hummingbird Lane Fabrics. Now, the first box I wasn't super impressed with, but the second box I was pretty happy with. So we have, just to recap it, right, because I'm going to do this box in a completely different box, like opposite ends of the spectrum, opposite ends, and just putting them up together and seeing what I like better. So in this box here, in our Stash Buster, you're fine, baby. So we have 2 of these wreath rings where we can use our scrap fabric to make fabric wreaths. We have this leather strap where we can use to make a handbag that looks like that. We have this table runner pattern that also has it's resized to make this lap quilt and then also resized to make this placemat. We have this table runner pattern here. And we have this Petal Pop zinnia pillow along with the template to cut our fabric. And we had this cute little bonus thumbs up here that you can stick on your sewing machine or another surface. And then this little hand here opens up where you can put like scissors or a seam ripper or something like that, right? So that was this box. No fabric, right? The entire purpose of this box and why it appealed to me was that we're not going to give you a bunch of fabric to add to your stash. What we're going to do is we're going to give you projects that you can use your stash to complete to help to reduce your stash. This is a new to me subscription. I don't know how long it's been out. I just heard about it a couple weeks ago. It's called Mrs. Quilty. Now, what to expect from this box? 14 to 16 different pieces of 100% cotton fabrics, a magazine with templates and tips, and free quilting gifts. Now, in your first box, you do get a free pincushion, and you also get a free quilting guide. And then also in your first box, you can take advantage of a $5 off coupon. Now, I missed the coupon. I was kind of bummed about that because when the website came up and the coupon popped up, I'm like, I'm not subscribing. I just want to check out the website. So I dismissed the coupon to go on to read. And then I said, hey, this might be interesting. I'm going to try it out. Completely forgot about the $5 off. So I missed out on that. So if you decide to check this out, make sure you don't miss out on that. Now, these are not, of course, if you're getting 14, well, also this subscription is $29.95 a month. That's it. $29.95. So if you're getting 14 to 16 pieces of fabric, they're not going to be fat quarters or even fat eighths. Okay? They're just not. I believe they might be 16ths of a yard, or maybe fat 16ths, or maybe 10-inch squares. Let's find out. So it says, when life gives you scraps, make a quilt. This is what we look like here. So I'm guessing that this is our magazine. And again on the back it says, when life gives you scraps, make a quilt. I'm just going to open this up a little bit. Okay, so we've got some information here. Just, hey, how you doing? There's something special about your box. Setting the mood for your collection. So they have a little diagram here of the fabrics that we're getting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So it looks like there's 11 this month. And it says that there's 14 to 16. So I'm just looking at this and I'm seeing 11 swatches here. Let's see. So the box contains 2 projects, 1 table runner. So number 1 is a table runner and number 2 is a block of the month. For the table runner, we will need 3 yards of binding for binding. And backing and batting is 13 by 18 inches. I don't know if that's right. I don't see why we would need 3 yards of binding. It says your Mrs. Quilty runner will measure 12 by 36 inches. So maybe that includes the binding for the block of the month. I have to assume that it does. Because if we have a 12 by 36 inch table runner, we definitely don't need 3 yards of binding. And I don't know what kind of block of the month that we're doing that's going to need 3 yards of binding. So I'm not sure about that. Step 1, use our template. Each template is marked with different letters and shapes. So you can quilt patterns into the right design. Read the pattern thoroughly before beginning. Okay. So this is what our table runner looks like. Very nice. I actually like that. So there's a bunch of steps here for how we make this. So we talked about the template. It says to position each element as shown in the template. Then cut out your pieces in the shape shown in the template. Then you sew your blocks in iron, sew blocks together, add batting and backing, then quilt. Then of course we trim our excess and finalize with binding. So these are all of our templates. Well, not all of our templates. These are the rest of our templates. So I'm not really quite sure. And then this is our block of the month. But it looks like our block of the month is also in our table runner. No, it's different. I take it back. I thought that this center block in the table runner was the same as the block of the month, but it's not. It's different. And then we have templates for our block of the month. Now, I don't know. So our block of the month is using templates, but I feel like it could have been, not I feel like, it could have been made without templates, right? So here are our templates to make our block of the month. This is our block, and these are our templates. But here we have some half square triangles, and then we have like 2 triangles on the side. I think we call that geese in the air. I don't know what we call it. I forget. But I've made this unit before. And then we have this unit here. Like, I'm not quite sure that we needed templates to make this. So I don't know if it's that the size is off, like it's an odd size. And so to make it without templates would have been odd cutting instructions and odd squaring up instructions. That part I'm not certain of because it doesn't give you the finished sizes. So when you're looking at this half square triangle here, like since it's cut from 2 templates, it doesn't tell you what this finished size is. You just cut out your fabric from the templates and sew the 2 fabrics together, and then it is what, and the finished size is what it is, and you don't know until you actually cut it out and sew it together and then measure the final size. So I don't know. I don't know. So I'd be curious to make this and see if this is something that could have been made without the templates, just by giving us, hey, let's make some 4 at a time half square triangles, and let's cut out 2 squares such and such size. And I don't know until I make it, so I'm gonna have to make the block to know, because it seems like there's a lot easier ways to make a half square triangle other than using a template. All right, so then of course we have our fabric bundle. It looks like I have 2 identical bundles. So it looks like I have 16 fat quarters, so I take it back. I don't know what those swatches were for. So when I saw the swatches in the beginning of the book, I just assumed that that was the fabric that we're getting, which to some degree it is. We have these prints, but I think what they did maybe is they chose some of the prints and then chose some solids that could coordinate. I don't know. So let's make sure they are exactly the same. Yeah, definitely exactly the same. So, I mean, from a value perspective, 16 fat quarters for $29.95, and then you get patterns as well. I mean, that's a bargain all the way by itself. Now, I will say, let me just show you this real quick. So I did get, your first shipment does come with a pin cushion. So here's mine. I'm not really a hand sewer. I don't really have a need for a wrist pin cushion. I don't. But we'll see. We'll see what I use it for. When I get stuff like this that I don't think that I'm going to use, or I'm not sure if I'm going to use, I just kind of put it in my sewing area, and then I wait to see if it gets used. And if it does, how often does it get used? So we'll see. But this was a gift with your first shipment, which I think is a nice touch. All right, so let's show these fat quarters. Now, of course, there's no line attached to this, right? There's no line. We're just getting some fat quarters. Now, I will say when I looked at the email that they sent me, the address was Holland, right? So when I go to the email from when I made my subscription and you scroll down to the bottom of the email, the address is Holland. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if, this was an overseas company that decided to establish a United States presence. I don't know. But these prints are cute. They look very, not vintage, but they look very Moda Riley Blakeish. This is not modern fabric. This is definitely more traditional quilting fabric. But I do like it. And for the price, you can't beat it, especially if you can take advantage of that $5 off that I missed and get 16 fat quarters for $25. So again, I have two of these. So I have two of these bundles. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to get this. I'll probably do it just like the other subscription, 90 days. I don't even know if I'll do 90 days because again, I wanted to show this for you guys so that you could see if this was something that you wanted. For me, this is more fabric. And for me, the fabric that I already have behind me, I like better than this, right? There's not much in my stash that I don't prefer to this. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped my Stashing with Stephanie subscription. That's one of the reasons why I stopped my Goodies Color Club subscription, because I already have a ton of fabric, and when I'm getting the stuff, it's pretty and I like it, but I don't like it more than the stuff that I chose myself. So this is pretty. I like this, but I don't like it more than what I already own. So I think I might do one more month of this just to kind of see what it's like. And I am going to do, I don't know if I'm going to make the table runner or not. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Because the table runner is completely put together with templates. Right. Like the whole thing is templates. So it's not like I can just get my rotary cutter and my ruler and cut out squares, and that's not what I'm doing, in rectangles. That's not what I'm doing here. I have to use these templates. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. So I don't think I'm going to make the table runner because I really don't think I'm interested in cutting out a bunch of templates or cutting out fabric from templates and sewing it together. I don't think I want to do that. But I am very much interested in putting together this block of the month because I want to know, I can do it like this, because I want to know if templates are actually necessary. Because this is a 12 by 12 block, right? Which means this is 6 inches finished, 6 inches finished, or 6.5 unfinished. Each piece is 6.5 inches unfinished, 6 inches finished. So I'm like, that means that this is a 3-inch finished half square triangle. And so I feel like there was a better way to do that without having to use templates. I feel like I could have cut 2 squares, sewed around the edges, like put the squares right side together, sewed around the edges, sewed around the outside, cut it on each diagonal, and I would have had 4 half square triangles without having to cut out 2, 4, 8 triangles from a template. And not just cutting them out, but I've got to take this template and put it on something sturdier, right? I've got to put it on something sturdier so that I can, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to see how this could have been done without templates and if it's easy, if it's an easy size, or was it some, like maybe these squares here are some weird size. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm curious. I'm curious. So I'm not sure. I mean, to me, comparing these, this is definitely a great value as far as fabric is concerned, right? I know the value of fabric. And I know that I know how much fat quarters cost these days. I also know that this is not Moda or Riley Blake, but it still feels like quilt shop quality fabric to me. So although it's not one of the main brands, not Wilmington Prints or Blank Quilting or Free Spirit or anything like that, this still feels like quilt shop quality fabric to me. It does not feel rough. It does not feel hard. The weave does not look loose or anything like that. This looks like good quality fabric to me. And I would be more than happy to work with this fabric. I have no issues with this fabric as far as the quality of it. All I would say is that for me, the prints that I own, I like better than these prints. So I think I'm going to do one more month and see what comes, and I'll show that to you guys to see what you guys think. But for me right now, I don't like the price point of this box because it is $54.95. This is $29.95. But as far as what works better for me and what my quilting work area looks like, this suits my needs more. This definitely suits my needs more. I'm not a fan of the price point of this box. I don't know. If I could get this box for $40 or probably 45, right? If I could, because with the shipping, probably if we took $10 off, I could probably get behind it a little bit more. I think it would still be on the higher side for me. Because then when we get to 45, then we're comparing it to Open Gate. That's what we're comparing it to. And although I like the fact of being able to use my stash, I really like the Open Gate subscription box and how complete it feels. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I mean, I'm sure about between these two. I definitely prefer the Stash Buster. I definitely prefer this. But again, I'm not the price point is a bit high for me, but this is a seriously low price point. So if you are looking to build your stash, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Now, I don't know what the next box is going to look like, right? Because I happen to get 16 fat quarters this month, right? But it might be, hey, this is the first month, so let's make it super great. My lights are motion. I don't care. So it might be, oh, this is the first box, so we're going to pack it full of fabric. But I feel like I remember when I was reading the website, you're not getting 14 to 16 fat quarters every month for $30. So I think that's why I kind of want to wait to see what the next box is going to bring. I'm curious about what the next box is going to bring because I feel like that's going to be more representative of the fabric that we're going to get every month as opposed to this. I feel like this is that, lure you in box Let's lure you in. We're going to give you 16 fat quarters plus a pin cushion for $25 if you use the coupon, which definitely use the coupon. Still upset that I missed out on my $5 coupon. I love a coupon. But yeah, so I'm probably going to reach into my scrap bin to make this block of the month. Oh, sorry, that's the table runner. This block. No, that was right. No, it wasn't right. So they're similar. So the block and the table runner, this is the 4 half square triangles are on the center. The block of the month, the half square triangles are on the corners. So it's similar, but a little bit different. So yeah, I'm super curious. I'm super curious to see how that block comes together. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to put that together, and I'm not going to make a separate video about that. I'll just talk about it when I get my second month of Mrs. Quilty. That's the name of this box, Mrs. Quilty. And like I said, yeah, let's wait until the next month. I feel like that's going to be more representative of the fabric that we get, because I do feel like on the website, it does tell you the size fabric that you're going to be getting, or the representative size fabric, and they weren't fat quarters. I feel like they might have been fat sixteenths, or like something that's like 12 by, I don't know, 10 by 12 or something smaller. So yeah. Yeah, this was interesting. This was interesting. This was interesting. I, um, I did not expect to prefer the Stash Buster box. I didn't. I didn't expect to prefer this box. One, because of the price point, and two, because I love fabric. But I just have a lot of fabric. And like I said, for me, this doesn't compete with what I have. So if you are a newer quilter and you are just looking for fabric and you are looking for a bargain, this might be something to try out. This might be something to consider. Might be something you might want to look at, or even just trying it. Because even if you get the same box that I got, even if the first box is the same for everyone, I mean, you're going to get 16 fat quarters and a pin cushion for $25 plus tax and shipping. And that is a bargain, ladies and gents. So if you like the fabric that I showed you, if it appeals to you, even if you don't want to do a continuing monthly subscription, it might be worth trying out just to get the one box, just to get this. So that is it for me, and I will see you guys next video.